You're listening to the episode of Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. This is a place where we're entitled to Brad's opinion. And now for your host, Brad Allard.
Well, another great week here in beautiful Johnson, Tarrant County, I guess. Today we have Gabrina on with the Burleson Area Chamber of Commerce. She's always got a full load there. It looks like you got a lot of notes there, don't you?
I do. I have one quick question before we move on. Who made that intro? Because I really like that song.
That was Reagan James.
Really?
That's, she was on The Voice about 5 years ago. We know she's locally known.
Yep, that's right.
And when we were trying to do some intro music, I didn't want to pay copyrights, and all this other stuff. And so I got a hold of her mother, and she said, well, she got some stuff, and so I chose this out of about 3 or 4 selections she sent me, and there you are. And it's been our theme song since we started back in September of 19.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you want more, I'm sure Susie can hook you up with that. I think Reagan is on iTunes.
Okay.
So anyway, but I have Jeremy Bleeker also. If he finally made it, I know the first time you had car trouble, second time you had stomach trouble, it sounded like.
Yep.
And then now we got him. He's going to talk about the duties of the chamber and all the things that the chamber can do and whatnot.
Brett, I was just out of excuses.
Yeah, I know. I finally said, okay, my God, let's get this over with. Now, you're with Edward Jones, right?
Would you have believed the dog ate my homework? That was the next one.
Yeah, the dog. Actually, they had that happen one time. And I said, the kid told me this. And I'm like, oh, bullcorn. And the mom said, no, she sent me back then, it was before phones, she sent me a Polaroid picture of it, one of those that develop in 10 seconds or whatever. And so the next day comes here, okay, so if mom's going to vouch for you, I guess you're good. But tell us about you. You're Edward Jones, right?
Edward Jones, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. And how long you been with them?
8 years.
8 years. Where were you there prior to that?
I spent about 18 years in the sales and marketing for the health and fitness industry.
And you decided just to get into Jones because you just want a change in life, change in career, huh?
It's fun. It's a unique story. So it was 2014. I'd kind of ran my course, and I guess for me professionally, I would have had to make a move to Kansas City to the corporate office with the company I was working for. Wasn't willing to do that, and I told my wife, I said, whatever I do next, I want it to be more impactful. I want to make more impact to my community, but I didn't know what that was. I had no idea. And my uncle had passed away back in November of 14. He was a local small business owner, had been for, 40 years at that point. And as we're coming through town, through the procession, there were people pulled over on the side with their hats out, over their hearts and just super respectful. And I thought, he spent a career here in town taking care of people and being a small business owner. And that's the impact I wanted to have. Didn't know what that looked like, though, right? And then 2 months later, I put kind of my feelers out on LinkedIn. First person that reached out was a good friend of mine. Well, guy that used to work for me, his dad, had been at Jones for about 10 years, reached out and said, you'd be perfect. And that was in January. And by April, I was hired, and here I am today. So it's really, I tell people it's the career I never knew I always wanted.
Yeah, right. Well, that's true. Hey, that was the first serious career option I thought about when I was going into college, was to be in stocks and bonds, whatever else. And then I found out you actually have to work at it. And so I went to banking because I thought, well, that'd be next best thing. And then I was a financial analyst before I was a teacher. And then the economy of Texas in the mid-'80s just collapsed.
It's tough.
Yeah, the banks, everything collapsed. All my friends that were in banking were out of a job and all this other stuff. So I think I was spared a lot of that. But that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the sponsors because, you understand about capitalism and commerce. Got to keep them happy. As I try to mess with this... the sharing of this, all this stuff. I tell you, this Facebook thing drives me just a little bit crazy. Trying to get it all together. All right, I'm going to share this first because there's several people that always like to hear Gabrina because she always has good information about what's going on. Also, we do absolutely need to make sure we talk about what happened with last week's scheduled events.
Yes,
all right.
We definitely will.
All right, now as far as our sponsors, CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. Daniel Baisden. I'm sure you've met him several times.
Great gym.
Yeah, and it's a real gym. By the way, we got some guests. Sherry and Larry Scott are watching us, so thank you, Larry and Sherry. Larry's running for place 4 on the city council,
That's right.
So he'll be on the show when he's ready for it again.
Good luck, Larry.
Yeah, he's going to be a pretty strong candidate. Also, CrossFit Burleson, though, 317 Southwest Wilshire for a pretty good workout. He has trainers, they have programs, they have regimens, they have the whole thing going on. So it isn't just, throw the iron around.
Oh, it's good.
And also, Shandy Stogsdill at Stogsdill Realty Group. She has been doing this for a long time. And I've known her since 1995. She was an ex-student, and we were good friends. She's been in our home many times. She and my daughter are close. She's also running for school board.
I thought that name sounded familiar. She went to Burleson, didn't she?
Yeah, she graduated in 96. When did you graduate?
92.
Okay. Well, Shandy has been around for a long time, and she knows all the real estate. And she comes on once a quarter. We talk about real estate, but she's also going to be on next Monday to talk about her school board candidacy. Also, thank you to Our Place. So everybody knows Our Place. Otto, of course, you know Otto.
Yep.
I was just there today. In fact, about an hour ago, I just had breakfast there. I bet I'm there at least 5 or 6 times a month. I'm almost getting to be like a piece of furniture over there.
They make a pretty decent breakfast, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I like, for lunch, I like the chicken fried steak. And the thing is,
good.
if you get the full size, it's like size of a manhole cover. So I get the smaller one. It's a sign of old age, I guess. But anyway, Our Place is a great place to do business. It's quiet, a great staff, great service. They're always friendly.
Great pies.
Top notch. Yeah.
What I always compliment them about is that it has a very consistent staff. I mean, they're there more than just like a week and a half. They've been there for some of them for years.
Yep.
And that's a sign of something. A good employer.
Good leadership.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. Also, another place that you may be familiar with, Wild Cigar and Culture. I was with Greg Williams there Friday. He wanted to check that out, and it's a great place to do business there too. I mean, it's quiet. It's they got music on in the background. It's not. You can catch the ball game there, but it isn't a sports bar. You go there and have a decent drink, a decent cigar. Maybe take a client there, or they have a conference room if you ever want to have like a big meeting kind of place for like a dozen or more people.
Well, I didn't know this, Brad. Quick side note, I went there about 3 months ago. Maybe it's been 4. The smoking jacket. So you can get these smoking jackets, and I thought, it looks nice, but there actually serves a purpose. I didn't know. It absorbs the smoke, so when you leave, you don't smell like it. And I thought, I need to get one of those.
Yeah.
My wife might like me a little better when I come home.
Well, when I came home Friday, I was told, put the clothes in the washer, but it's not overpowering in there. A lot of people think it's going to make this dense fog or smoke, but it's not like that at all.
It's not bad.
You really, it really isn't like what you might think. It's very nice. It's a high class joint. Got a great bar. He put balcones on the shelf just because I asked him real nicely. So,
nice.
And he's been on the show a couple of times. All right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you to Tiffany and Nico. You probably know her too over at locallifetx.com. If her local page, her magazine is out, goes to 30,000 homes. I've been trying to get her to join BNI, but she's hard to land because she's so busy.
She's busy.
Yep.
She's a busy girl.
Yeah, I ran into Jimmy, her husband, at Our Place this morning. And she was recovering from a dog bite.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Jimmy trains dogs, right? And one took a little nip at her, but she toughed it out. No big deal.
She's a trooper.
She's a trooper, dadgummer. But anyway, 30,000 homes get it. Also, I know several businesses carry multiple copies, so there you are. Here's a couple of friends of ours that you know well. Gayla over at Southern Gym.
The local lady jeweler.
Yes, they're busy. I tell you, Robin comes home and she's exhausted. Because it isn't like they just sit around and look at jewelry all day, as much as she'd like for that to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they're busy. They do a lot of repairs. They do a lot of appraisals. And they also have inventory. And they're supposed to be moving down to the bottom floor. Well, it's supposed to be in about a month, but I wonder if the Ice Age last week put a kibosh on some of that. They'll be in there before spring break.
That space is fantastic, by the way. She took me a walk through back around Christmas, and unbelievable, first class.
Is that your phone whistling at you? Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Thought it was yours.
No. No one talks to me. But what I like about it is that she's a place to park the husbands. When you have a business that primarily, not solely certainly, but primarily women to be interested in, and the husbands come along and we just kind of stand there and look. She's going to place, watch the ball game.
That's right.
Have something to drink, whatever else. That's a great thing. Anyway, Southern Gym, top of the Windmill Building for now. Go up there and check it out. Also, another friend of ours, Michelle Unfried, Hot Work. She was on last week. She was on with maybe somebody Lisa Flynn from Cryo 3.
I know Lisa.
You know Lisa?
I do. Yep.
they're in a similar situation that it helps with your body aches and pains, workouts, whatever. But they do it from different angles. And she's over on Summercrest and Allsbury.
Allsbury, yeah.
Yeah, but Michelle is over on 731, and she's doing pretty well. She's opened up that second outfit, her second location up in Coppell, and there you are. Or was it Colleyville?
It was Irving.
Irving, that's right. Yeah.
Irving.
All right. Well, anyway, the one in Burleson's one you should go to.
That's right.
So she'll be waiting for you. Also, another friend of ours from BNI, Texas Farm Bureau, with Melissa Harmon, 682-804-0534. She helped me with my insurance. She can help you with yours. She saved me a little bit of money, upgraded the life insurance, and we're good to go. So give her a call if you need that. Also, we've got a couple of nonprofit things going on. Their coat drive, Trinity Chiropractic is having a coat drive. They're also on Allsbury and Summercrest. And if you bring a slightly used coat or a new coat, you'll get a free examination, x-rays, an adjustment if needed. Maybe they'll put out a plan for you if needed, that kind of thing. So you get a free first treatment just by bringing the coat by. And this is helping out Beautiful Feet Ministries in Fort Worth. He's going to come visit us at BNI, by the way.
Good.
He's scheduled to come by in a couple weeks, next week. All right. Also, our friends at Harvest House, I'll have Jennifer on at the end of the month. They're having their fridge drive. They need about $20,000 for the purchase and installation of a refrigerated unit in their location so people can shop refrigerated items. One of the things that she is stressed about, and also the Promises outfit led by Debbie Beeman, that they both stress self-selection is a big thing.
Yep.
It kind of, instead of just handing them a bag of groceries, having them go shop what's good for them and their family, it gives them a little bit of more, autonomy in their choices and also a little more dignity. And so we're hoping to raise $20,000 between now and February 17th. So if we're short a little bit, we'll just send them to you and you can just write them a check. Yeah.
The growth there has been amazing.
It is.
We went a couple of months ago doing a random act of kindness with the diplomats, and to see their inner workings and the refrigeration and all the things they've done over the years, it's absolutely amazing. It
really is. Because back when you were in school and the student council would help them with food drives and
That's
all
right.
that, it would, we take mostly cans.
Yeah.
Or a lot of ramen noodles, which,
That's right.
and stuff like that. Well, people you could use, but
Yeah.
now it's so much this meat and fruit and vegetables and dairy. It's so much more complete in what they do. Anyway, so y'all got those things down. Let's talk about Chamber. First thing I'd ask is last week you had an event scheduled and Ice Mageddon took care of that, right?
Yes. We were going to launch our business over breakfast last week and on Thursday, on Tuesday. And of course, we all got snowed out and I actually iced out. And so we are doing it again last Tuesday in February, which is going to be February 28th. So we're going to do the launch then. But when we started this, the diplomats actually started this. This is their thing. We thought 25, 30 people would show up, and that would be great. And we asked everybody to register. That way we know how many people to tell the Culinary Arts Department at BISD to cook for. We had 85 that had registered. We're getting close to numbers for like our luncheons. And
Nice.
I was shocked, but I was so excited. And man, we really did not want to reschedule because, we had put so much time and effort and we were all so excited about it. And it was like, we just have to reschedule. So we're rescheduling. It's not really rescheduling because we have it in February. We're going to have it in February anyway, but we're just doing the launch February 28th.
Well, the thing about it is when it get a little bit of ice around here, everything shuts down. You're from Lubbock, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure this is like what, April to y'all, and so,
That's right.
up there past this area, it's no big deal. Around here, a little bit of ice, boom. I was stuck in the house for 3.5 days and that kind of thing. And so, I'm glad that it may have been postponed, but you're still going to have your full-on program, your launch.
Oh
whatever.
yeah. It's not going to. We're just doing it, and we have another month, and so, maybe we'll plan a few more exciting things for the February 28th
Yeah.
one.
Now, is this-
Fine-tune it.
Is this at Pathway still?
No. This is at the Brick.
At the Brick, okay.
Yes, we partnered with City of Burleson Parks and Rec, and we're going to have it at the Brick for the first couple of months until the summer, and then summer we'll probably do it out at
Russell.
Russell
Oh,
Farms.
that's a nice place to do it. In that barn area, yeah. I've been to a couple of weddings out there, and they use that barn for for the, the cake and the cookies, or whatever, and that kind of stuff. And it's a nice place. That's one of the best areas Burleson has, and it's not everybody knows about it.
And that's why we're partnering with them so we can start taking people to there to show them, hey, you've also got this area that's great, for you to have events.
Well, when my kids are much smaller, they had the field trips out there and all this other stuff. So I'm sure you remember that too. Now, Jeremy, what exactly do you do for the chamber? You're not just a member; you're also part of the management team, are you not?
Yes, I'm on the board of directors and serve on the diplomat committee.
So, what does the diplomat committee do?
We're awesome.
No, I know. Well,
Awesome.
Is it not just a title and a jacket? I mean, what do you do? I mean, you have to have some duties.
Yep. So we are the kind of the liaison between the community and the chamber. We support a bunch of different things. The most fun thing that we do, I think, is called the Random Act of Kindness. Second Tuesday of each month. No, excuse me, first Tuesday of each month.
No, second.
Second, that's right. Yeah. Second, we go out to the community, usually about 6 or 8 businesses. It's so cool to see us walk in. There's usually 3 or 4 of us, right? We've got this big sign, a big banner, and there's, we're kind of charging in, and inevitably they're like, "What are you selling? I don't want it."
Yeah.
Frown on their face, and when we introduce ourselves and tell them why we're here, they light up, and it's just it's amazing. The support that we can offer them and the reception we get is pretty incredible.
So this is not something that's preset. You just walk in on somebody.
Surprise.
And you got 3 or 4 of these guys in jackets, and it's like, wait, I paid that bill. I'll tell Guido I'm good, or something. Is that how it works?
No, we don't have to wear the jackets. That's the ambassadors.
The ambassador.
We're jacket free, so we're more casual. Yeah.
Okay.
So they don't know we're coming in. We pick about 8 each month. A couple teams of 4 will go out and just kind of walk in. Now, we're not the Honda guys.
No.
So we're not going to pay off your car. But we will give you a bag of goodies and a plaque and, take your picture, give you some exposure. I think for the businesses, it's a way for them to get a little more exposure in the community through social media than they've maybe gotten before.
Are these members you were visiting or
Yes.
potential members?
Members.
Members, okay. So it isn't like I'm just minding my own business. Boom, here comes these people.
Member appreciation. Yeah.
Member appreciation. Okay,
Yep.
so that's a good thing. I mean, that's
fun.
The chamber, she's got me involved in the chamber now. She's got me a membership. I got the notice today that I'm paid up for another month.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
It's fun.
There's a lot of things that the chamber offers that I did not know until I met her. I mean, I knew the chamber because of Andy, but it wasn't so much like, I didn't know he had all these other things. A lot of that has to do with her. I mean,
Agreed.
I'm very impressed with what she's done, how she's expanded the business, and so I know the memberships are still rising.
They are.
Our last we talked, they were.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
We're getting more members every day. And, that's part of being a chamber member is you get to, it depends on how involved you want to get. I mean, we have our diplomats and, they go do the random acts of kindness. And, they came up with the idea to bring the business over breakfast because they wanted to do something different. We also have our ambassadors, and they're kind of like the first group that you meet because they do all the ribbon cuttings. And, we have new members that don't want ribbon cuttings, but we highly encourage that because with that ribbon cutting, you get the extra exposure. And so, you can be involved as a diplomat, as an ambassador. We have our Power of Heels. That's our women's division of the chamber. They are the ones that are doing the Full Circle Women's Conference and the Holiday Bazaar. They're actually going to be doing March the 8th is the Women's Day. So they're going to do a Women's Day luncheon that day. So we're, getting registration for that. So, I mean, there's different, our board of directors. I mean, there's different arms of the chamber that you can get involved in,
And like you said before, you'll get what you put into it. There's a lot of opportunities. But if you don't really take advantage of them and you just join the chamber and they said, okay, where's the business? It's kind of like with B&I, it's like if you put in the effort, you're going to get some response. If you sit back and wait for it to happen for you, you're going to be wait by yourself quite a bit, And so what I like about y'all's outfit, the chamber's outfit, is that it really aggressively promotes its members.
Right.
I mean, I get, email postings or Facebook postings or other social media, Instagram, et cetera, several times a week, and I'm not really in the dark about what's going on because there's all this communication available. And I credit that to Gabrina and the Jessicas, as we call them.
The Jessicas, that's right.
Yeah. So, but personally, though, the bottom line though with any chamber of commerce is business, right? You want to generate business. I mean, it's great to have luncheons and fellowship, and that's all extremely important and community spirit. But you also want a little return to the bottom line. Has that happened for you in the chamber?
It has. It has.
How does that happen for you?
My exposure, I think, just being out talking to people and being able to connect with different types of folks, and so it's really my time in. Again, I didn't do it for that reason. Volunteerism has been important to me from way back coaching my kids in Little League, that kind of thing. And so for me, it wasn't all about business, but business is nice. And so it's been can't complain whatsoever.
Yeah, I've had through the chamber, I've had a couple of people contact me about maybe sponsoring, and now it didn't get very far, but it was a contact.
That's right.
Not every contact is going to result in business.
Right.
And in fact, what is it, like 10% maybe? But it was contacts I didn't have before, and you never know when these things are going to happen. I've had a couple of sponsors that are still on that list that told me I couldn't do it at this time, and they came back to me a year later. And so maybe, who knows, maybe in a couple of years or a couple of months, they'll come back and say, God willing, if I'm still on in a couple of years, who knows? Who knows? But I'm just saying that these things are like planting, and harvesting that may come later.
Well, I think volunteerism, too, if your heart's in the right place, business will come. I think if you go in for the wrong reasons, you're going to get stumped every time. So I want to get back to the community, born and raised here, and so it's a good place to be. And I think the chamber does what I feel kind of at my core. I grew up in small business. I appreciate small business. I've owned a couple myself. They're the lifeblood of any community, and we're the only organization that is really only out for the small business owners or the business owners. And I really appreciate that.
So when you're meeting with the potential new member, whether it's an existing business or one that's coming in, what do you tell them is the benefit to them for joining the chamber? I mean, what would you tell them? Say, here's why joining the chamber is good for you, not just because of business. What would you tell them?
Well, I mean, I tell them that, we can help them market their business. The bigger, Burleson is it's a small community.
Small, big town?
Yeah, it's a small, big town, and people here, they recognize when you support their community. And if you support the community, then the community is going to support you, and the way to do that is by, getting your name out there. And, like I mentioned the ambassadors a little bit ago, I mean, join the ambassadors, and they're actually doing the Business Expo. Which we'll talk about that in a minute. But, I've really been impressed here lately with the involvement that our Chamber of Arms is doing. I mean, the diplomats, they came up with this idea themselves. Derek Rose came and sat in my office and said, hey, I have an idea. And, they're starting to kind of branch out and, away from their normal, just everyday, we're just a diplomat, we do this, we do random acts of kindness. Now they're starting to think outside the box and bring ideas to make the chamber grow, and to give value to our chamber members.
Now, you obviously do spend time with fellow chambers, around the area, maybe even around the state. Is Burleson about par for the course, or do we have a higher level of support and interest for our chamber than maybe a lot of your colleagues could say about theirs?
Well, I mean, here in Johnson County, I mean, of course, we've got smaller chambers, but, I'm part of the North Texas Chamber Executives, and, we meet with chambers all up here in North Texas. The executive directors or CEOs or presidents go and meet, once every other month. And I mean, I think I get a lot of my ideas from them.
Okay. Well, I guess my point was that is this typical of a chamber? Or Burleson just are blessed to have a chamber that's as well supported as it is?
Well, I can say that I think Burleson is blessed to have a chamber. I do hear complaints a lot. I've got an amazing board of directors. No.
Okay, I mean, okay, I didn't.
Yeah, no.
I know what you meant.
No.
I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no, not from Burleson. From other chambers. About the issues they have with their board of directors, and the not supportive, and the lack of involvement. And it's like everything that they describe, I'm not feeling. I mean, the board of directors, they are an amazing group and very supportive and very encouraging towards me and the staff at the chamber. Hey, let's try this. If it doesn't work, let's figure it out, And so they've just been great from day one, and then the involvement that our ambassadors and diplomats in Power Hills, and now they're trying to grow their little group, because overall the chamber's growing. And so with that, their groups are wanting to grow as well, the ambassadors, diplomats, Power Hills, all that kind of stuff. And so, when I go to these meetings with, like the North Texas chambers, I almost feel bad, because all you do is you just hear, all this negativity that I don't want to come in and say, oh, not me. We're doing this and this and this and this and this. Because then they're going to be like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
You're kicked off of our group.
Yeah,
But we do. I mean, we have a lot of great people here in Burleson, and the community is so supportive. The community is getting involved, and it's like the chamber. It's not. I feel like the chamber is going in a direction that it should be going, where the community is proud of the chamber, and they want to get involved. They want to help it grow. They want to, help the small businesses grow. And so it's like that was the goal. That was, one of the goals is just to get the community involved. And never in a million years would I have thought that within a year's time that would have happened.
Well, it's interesting because, a lot of people think chamber basically y'all get together once a month, have some coffee and donuts and whatever. But you got all this stuff going on, and you mentioned one, the expo. Why don't you jump into that?
Yes. So we have our business expo that's going to be February the 25th. It's on Saturday. It is free to attend. Right now we have almost 70 vendors, 70 businesses. Here in Burleson that are going to be participating. So, we've taken out an ad in Local Life magazine, in Burleson Now, on Hank FM. All those people are Burleson, are chamber members.
Well, send us a logo and we'll throw it up on the screen. Okay. We'll put it with the rest of the nonprofit sections.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. But you can register if you're a business. You can register. The cutoff is February 20th. But we want to invite the community to come out and really support and see all the local businesses that are here in Burleson. I know they're going to be having demos. A lot of the businesses are going to be giving away raffle items. And so we just really want the community to come out and just show support of all the local businesses, because you never know. You might see Jeremy there, and you might think, hey, you know what? I never thought about that. And then Jeremy can, get you retired at 35 and, just trying to go for, that we make amazing things happen.
Now I missed that boat, but so where is this now?
It's going to be at Pathway.
That's where I got confused with the breakfast.
Yes, and it's February the 25th. It's Saturday, February 25th from 10 to 3.
So you go there and you could you could really promote your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure you'll have a full parking lot. And there'll be, people probably give away their cards and give away samples and whatever else. And
raffle items. We're going to have a tractor out there, a couple of cars, an RV, some food trucks. It's going to be a fun time.
Do you have to be a member of the chamber to be part of this?
No, you don't. If you are a member of the chamber, you'll get a discounted rate.
What's the rate?
I think it just went up. It was $50 up until the 1st, and then after that, I think it was $75.
75, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so for, I don't know, say $75, you're getting basically 3 to 5 hours of nonstop attention.
Absolutely.
Pretty good bang for your buck.
I think so. And some of that, I'm sure, will have food available.
Yeah.
And, these chamber meetings are probably like, Baptist deacon meetings. If there's no food involved,
what are we doing?
It's a point. Where's the casserole?
Right.
It says in Scripture, where 2 or more are gathered in thy name,
That's right.
there shall be potluck.
Yep.
Anyway, so
so we're excited about that. This is the first time. This is our first one. Again, the ambassadors are thinking outside the box, and they brought this to the table. This is something that's been in the planning works for about a year now. And so we're super excited about it.
Well, so the deadline for signing up is
February the 20th.
That's 2 weeks from today. So they better get moving.
Yeah. And because this is the first one, basically if you're a vendor, you're responsible to bring your own table, your own chairs, and then as we grow it, then we will, eventually we'll provide the table, we'll provide the chairs, we'll provide the backdrop, the stanchions and all, not stanchions, but the pipe and drape and all that kind of stuff, But again, this is our first year and we really want it to grow. So we're really looking to the community to come out and support, our local businesses.
Well, we need a place like this in our community. I know First Baptist and Pathways have been very generous with their spaces, but we need a public space. And I have the mayor on tomorrow. I got Ronnie Johnson on next week. I have a couple other council member candidates coming on. I'm going to put that in their ear. It's time to get a space. We need a space for this because as generous as they are, we're going to run out of room, sounds like. And we have you to thank or blame. I don't know if we want to call it that. But
I'll take the credit.
You'll take the credit.
I'll take the blame for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, you still are having your Tuesday meetings, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what's going on with those?
Wait.
The Tuesday evenings.
Yes.
Network at night.
Network at night, yeah. So our network at night, this one is going to be February 14th Valentine's Day, it's going to be at Accents of Burleson. And we've changed the time. It's from 4:30 to 6 going forward.
Well, I appreciate that because I have a class I teach on Tuesdays at 6.
Yeah.
So now I can drop by and I'm sure I won't have to talk to my wife too long about dropping by Accents. I mean,
Yeah, but no, we're listen, I know it's Valentine's Day, but go early, go do Valentine's with your spouse ahead of time. That way you're not fighting the crowd. And then come spend Valentine's with us.
Well, we do it the 13th, Robin and I, not just because of that, but because that's the day we got engaged back in 1988. So that's a whole nother story. I was told that I'm going to be engaged that day regardless, because that's when the ring was ready. And so we're going to go get that ring and we're going to get engaged.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, okay. And so we do it on the 13th is because, Valentine's Day, it's crowded. Well, hopefully it's going to be crowded for our restaurants. But, that's
I'm
kind
sure
of deal.
What a great venue, though, for Valentine's Day. They've got a ton of stuff in there, so you might pick up something for the lady.
Yeah.
Or the man.
Or the man.
That's right.
Or the man,
Or the
because
man.
they do have some really nice men stuff.
Well, what I like, I've been in there before, and they got like seasoning and cooking items, and I do a lot of the cooking in the house. Since I'm semi-retired, the kitchen is now mine to take care of while Robin works at Southern Gym or whatnot. So, I like those kind of things. And then, of course, the candles. My wife loves candles. But anyway, so that's going to be a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, we're excited about that one. We do have it every, it's the second Tuesday of every month, and it's the same day that they do Random Acts of Kindness. And so the one for March is going to be at Tarpley Music. So we've never had one there before. So we're going to do that one there in March. And we did business over breakfast because a lot of people can't come to the evening events. So we thought, excuse me, we thought that we would, provide another way for people to network.
Well, that's great because, like I was saying, like Tuesday nights at 6, I'm at Hill College. And so I couldn't have made those, but I could make this one and I will. And the breakfast is on like a Tuesday morning. I have a class at Dallas Baptist. And so there, even if, I know Jeremy here, he's quite busy, because we are both in BNI and you get a lot of texts and stuff during the meeting, don't you?
I do, yep.
Yeah. And so it's good to have opportunities that I can't make this one, I can make that one.
Right. And that's what, that's another thing that the chamber is providing. We're trying to reach all kinds of businesses and provide opportunities for all businesses, not just a select few, which is why we're expanding the different things that we do at different times.
Well, but you're also the chamber. It isn't just like one type of business like you're talking about. You have nonprofits involved as well. Do nonprofits, they make a large portion of the chamber?
Not a large portion, but we do have several.
Okay, well, good. Because there's a couple, I think, that maybe he and I know that might want to consider it. Center for ASD.
Oh, yeah, they're members.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Harvest House, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Next Step Women's. They're going to be on Thursday.
Nice.
And also another group that I have on is a group from Cleveland, Re-Inspire. It's one of Shandy Stockstill's groups where they help kids that are aging out of the foster care system, how to adjust to adulthood and that kind of thing. Those are the ones that I do a lot of the stuff with. And then sporadically when people have fundraisers, so they'll contact me. But I'm glad to see the chamber's supportive of that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Every time you come here, I always feel like, this city's got it going on because she's always got, a lot of enthusiasm. If you notice that?
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was very infectious.
I moved back here in 2017. I spent about 20 plus years in Fort Worth. Moved back here in 17 in the chamber. I knew it existed, became a member and, started participating. And it's from then to now, it's night and day. And the information that we provide to our membership, to the public is pretty important. And, I think it's timely. I think it's good. We've had some people say it's almost too much. And so I don't think that's a bad thing, right? You don't have to do it all, but we're going to show you what we have going on, right?
Yeah. So, you can pick and choose.
Yep. I think it's great.
It's a great menu.
Yep.
Well, give her a raise then, doggone it.
No, give me a box to stand
I'm working on it. Well, she gets a ham, right?
Oh, well.
For bonus or turkey.
Wow, you really know how to spoil the employees.
Absolutely.
Good heavens.
And, speaking of nonprofits, Crazy 8 Ministries is also a member of the chamber, and so we support them on their City on a Hill every year, and they haven't done it. I think they did it last year. I don't remember if they did it last year or not, but they usually do it the week before we do our Honey Tour bike ride. Well, this year it's going to be 2 weeks before our Honey Tour bike ride. It's going to be May 13th from 10 to 2. So, we're going to be out there. Last year, the diplomats, ambassadors, they all had a table out there and kind of worked and just, went around, and it's free. It's free for all the businesses to attend and to participate. And, they just ask that you do some sort of giveaway or an activity, to get the kids and the people involved. And so we're going to support that, just like they support our Honey Tour bike ride too.
Well, my dad did that Honey Tour bike ride back in the day. He used to do biking,
Love it.
Yeah, he did that hotter than hell in Wichita Falls until age has kind of taken over a little bit. But he's 84 now. But he did that for 20 years.
Hats off to that guy.
Yeah. And when I saw the Honey Tour, it's a lot of work. I mean, it isn't like, here's get on the bikes and we'll see you in a couple hours. I mean, you have to get the route. You have to make sure you got the right of ways. You got you have the vendors at the start and finish lines. You have to have
a couple checkpoints.
Refreshment people.
We have 7 rest stops.
Yeah.
And you can ride anywhere from 7 to 67 miles. If you do the 67 miles, you'll start out at Centennial High School. Centennial High School, you'll go through Alvarado up to Grandview and then back down through Alvarado and back to Centennial. But hats off to Bobby and Carol Woolard, because Bobby goes and he maps out all the different routes and he paints, the different arrows every year. And he does a lot of work, this was their idea and from the beginning. And so, it's, hats off to them for doing that. And then, the chamber got involved, and now we're also doing the, getting the city of Burleson involved, Parks and Recreation. They're going to be providing they're going to bring in a carnival. I believe it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then they're going to kick off Hot Sounds of Summer.
You mean like a carnival like you see, a roadside carnival with a Ferris wheel and all that business? Oh, right.
Yep. So, we figured we haven't done the Honey Tour bike ride in 3 years. And so here we are bringing it back, and we want it to be bigger and better. And we want to partner with a bunch of different members of the chamber, City of Burleson, Parks and Rec, and then we're also, Alvarado they're going to have some stuff going on there, and so we're just trying to again make it a community-wide event.
Well, the biking community is a community in itself.
Oh yes, it is.
So,
it's a cult. I can tell you that. You go up there for that Wichita Falls thing the night before. They have all these RVs like my dad had, and a bunch of tents and whatever else around the. It's called the MPC in Wichita Falls. It's their civic center, and you go inside. And there's all these products are selling, and it's like I never even could imagine all the stuff related to bike riding that somebody's thought up. And 5 o'clock in the morning, Dad's blasting that A&M Reveille. He had a cassette tape, and like, oh, Dad, jeez, And I get up and I'm like, I slept in at 5 o'clock. There's all these guys already there, and they're eating pancakes and.
It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah, and that if you could come close to matching Wichita Falls, you've done something, because that's an institution.
This was pretty great. I rode it the first 2 years. We didn't do it in 20, right? So it was 2018, 2019. It's great. Mapped out perfectly. I do know that I was the second year we rode, so I ride mountain bikes, and that's really, they're not made for long distance. Buddy, a friend of mine, we did the 32 mile, and so I found myself at Alvarado High School off of 35 on a mountain bike on a hot summer's day. And I thought, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, does this really make sense? But it was fun. It was good. I think it's a great event. And the mountain bike community will support, I think, to your point, if we make this more of a destination weekend, not just an event,
right?
The biking community will support that. So I think it's good.
I highly encourage you to try to do that, make it an event, because these biking people will go all over for events like this. It really was an education for me. When at one of the peak hotter than hells, they had like 15,000 bike riders. Now I don't know if we'll match that number, but I bet we'll get a bunch. And the hotels around here will be full. Of course, they're all Fort Worth. But maybe they'll spend some money in Burleson. And but
restaurants, with all our new restaurants coming in, and so we've got some things in the works. We're going to go around and ask some of the restaurants to do like some sort of 10% off or whatnot, and then Jessica will do a flyer with all the different restaurants, and you can click on their website or on the interactive map and see where the different restaurants are, and it'll take you to their restaurant page and give you the discount there. But that's the goal, is to grow it. And I know in speaking, Carol and Bobby, I mean, they're amazing. They have all these ideas because they're part of that community, the biking community. And so she was saying, well, maybe eventually we'll do a pancake, and I said, yeah, eventually, let us get back into it. And then we'll just, now that we have the city of Burleson involved and everybody else, we'll try to grow it and just kind of meet afterwards. I mean, we've gotten the police department, the fire department, I mean, just everybody involved,
It's a massive task, though.
Yes, we have about 200 volunteers.
You're going to need them because,
It's a lot.
well, I always thought it was great is that bike race in Wichita Falls would leave about 7 o'clock. And I don't know how often you've been to Wichita Falls, but it's in the downtown area, and they'd all start across a bridge. And, and the more serious guys would be up front, the ones that are competing, and they take off. But you're not supposed to get on your bike until you get across that bridge. And so there's like this wave of 12,000 people. It takes about 30 to 45 minutes to get everyone across that bridge. And they're all, of course, in their very fancy biking uniforms, the tights, red, white, and blue. My dad said, I'll be the one in the American flag. And I started laughing. It's either American or Texas flags, all of it, But they had, the jet flyover. They had, invocation. They had Star Spangled Banner. I mean, I tell you, it's American as can be.
That's been going on for a long time, Brad. Do you know how far that dates back? Do you remember?
I know that my dad got involved in it in the early 90s.
So back that far.
Yeah, so it's
nice.
So it takes a while, but if y'all can match that, you'll get support because, it lives up to its name and hotter than hell. It's the weekend before Labor Day, and it's just only once I've been up there with my dad. It wasn't just baking hot. So, but if you can, get something like that going.
Yep. It's a pretty great course. There's some countryside, there's some nature. I saw armadillo and squirrels and different things, and so it's a nice cruise. So I think it's got some potential.
Yeah,
it does. And there's other things that I've noticed that the chamber's been doing. You got your list here. I don't want to short anybody. So what else is going on?
Well, we're planning for our Wild West Gala. We're so excited about that. We're going to do something a little different this year. We're going to have a Pony Express Derby race. So basically, like the goal is to, let's say we do financial institutions. We'll have 4, and then they'll compete against each other. They'll kind of decorate their own horse, whatnot. They'll sponsor their own horse. Then we have the dice. We'll roll the dice.
Wait a minute, you're decorating a horse?
Well, not a real horse. A stick horse.
Okay, all right. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
When you said Pony Express, I thought, well, okay, maybe something like a rodeo kind of event, but no, we're a stick horse.
A stick horse,
okay,
yes, a stick
there
horse.
you go.
And so we'll do, maybe if we have financial institutions, the winner of that one will go, then we'll have maybe insurance companies that are racing against each other, and then the winner of each one of those will go for the big derby.
Well, I don't know. Insurance and financial interests, I know that's a big competition between the two. There's a deadly rivalry. But anyway.
But that's going to be our fundraiser.
Where's that?
It's going to be at Medina Ranch, and that is going to be April the 14th from 7 to 10. And so we're, super excited about that. We're looking for sponsors for that. We're still looking for sponsors for the Business Expo. You asked how people can get involved. Well, and I mean, if you call me and say, Gabrina, I want to sponsor something, but all I have is $50. You know what? I'm going to find something for you to sponsor for $50.
Put your name on the list somewhere.
I'm not going to turn you down.
Yeah, we've talked about marketing with y'all before. I mean, and you're very good about matching one's budget. Not everybody has the same marketing budget as, say, a big chain does or whatever. And we've talked about this before. So there is something for everybody. If they want to market themselves, but they feel like, well, I don't have the wherewithal to match these guys. Well, you don't have to match these guys.
No, we don't want you to.
Yeah.
If we all thought the same and we all acted the same and we all made the same money, how boring would this world be?
It's like giving a church. Your $100 will spend like anybody else's.
Exactly.
But I'm really interested about that expo thing because I really think that's going to be more successful than even you think it is.
I hope so.
And you're a very optimistic person always.
Yeah.
You could be having one of these things in the middle of a monsoon. But it'll clear up soon.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a really big deal.
Well, I hope so. And again, we want the community to come out. So if you're a vendor, and you've already registered with us, make sure you share it on Facebook and make sure you let all your friends know, if you hear about it and you just want to come out and support, just share it, because the more people in the community that we can get to attend, then that's more exposure for our businesses.
Well, but here's the thing, for me, an example of how the chambers worked out for me is, earlier I talked about Dr. Dias's coat drive for this training chiropractic. It was Gabrina that put us two together. He had, heard of my show, but he didn't know anything about it, And she told him, and he contacted me. Now he's going to, be using this platform to help sponsor his charity. That's for me an example of how this works.
Chamber at its core.
Yeah, and so that works for me. And one last detail on the board of directors. Who's on the board of directors right now besides you? And I believe Ryan Anderson is the
He's
president?
the past chair.
Past chair, okay.
Kendall Frazier's the current chair.
Okay.
Jack Mattinson's the
Vice chair.
vice chair. Myself, Aaron Samuels, Lisa Schwartz,
Dallas Owen.
Dallas Owen, Penny Johnson is our ex officio, I believe.
And Michaela Hill.
Like from BSD, she hooks me up once a month with people from BSD to do the next BSD show is a week from Thursday, and I'll know when Michaela tells me who's coming. I'll let her decide that.
And then Allison Bradham,
Mary Slaney.
Mary Slaney.
Of course, Mary Slaney.
Yeah.
It was
awesome.
Mary Slane's going to be
Dallas
part of
Owen.
everything.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
It's a good group. We're pretty fortunate to have the team we have. It works well.
It really does. Oh, Travis Blackshire.
Travis
He's new.
and
Rex Benson's new.
Daniel Fernie.
Daniel Fernie as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, some of these names are familiar, some aren't. But
Daniel owns Varsity Car Wash and House of Air.
And House of Air.
Okay, good.
Travis is the CEO, president of McLean Classic Foods. on
Oh yeah,
35.
okay, yeah. You mentioned them before. Yeah.
And then Rex Benson is
He may or may not have made a pancake or two in his day.
Rex. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
This is Old South, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can't mention Old South here because Otto gets upset. No, he doesn't.
And there's plenty to
Sorry,
go
Otto.
around.
And there's enough pancakes to go around. When I was there today at 9:00, every table was taken, so
I
Otto's doing
bet.
just fine.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
yeah.
so,
And I saw where Otto, because Otto's a member too of the chamber.
Oh, sure.
And now they're opening a location in Burleson. I mean, in Cleburne.
Cleburne,
How
yeah.
exciting is that?
Yeah,
Congratulations, Otto.
Last time I was there,
congrats.
prior there, he wanders around as he normally does, and he sat down and with I was having who was it? It was a BNI meeting. I was with Caleb.
Yeah.
And he comes in and talks about his Cleburne outfit a little bit, but he just likes to walk around and schmooze and whatever else. He was doing that again today.
Yep.
So, but but I really am impressed. I'm always impressed with this outfit. When she comes here once a month, I feel like that, we got a chamber that's really got something going on, and it isn't just, coffee and donuts and whatnot.
No.
So
It's a great way for people to get involved in the community. It's not a huge time commitment, but I think it's very impactful.
if I may, I'd like to also put a little word in for a group that Jeremy and I are both part of BNI. We have our Visitors Day, in about 5 weeks, March 8th?
Yes. Yep.
And so we're trying to expand as well for our networking group. We're hoping to bring in some new members. BNI's worked for me because, you look on that list, 3 of them were current or former BNI members. So it works for me. Similar to, but it's a different kind of outfit than the chamber. Right. But it's similar. So March 8th, if that may be something to consider for some of y'all out there who are looking for a networking group.
What time?
We meet every Wednesdays at 8:30 over at the Hampton, which I know is in Fort Worth, but talk to the mayor about that, so there you are. But we meet every Wednesday, and it's been a pretty good outfit for us. It's takes work.
Yep.
Well, so I want to invite everybody to go to the BNI meeting
There you go.
on Wednesday at 8:30.
That's right.
When you get done, come to the Power of Heels Women's Day luncheon on March the 8th.
Wow.
So there you go. So just take the whole morning off.
There you go. Well, might as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, before we jump off this show, we're about out of time. Fill us in everything they need to know. I let them have a last-minute summary so people could take with them what is important.
Yeah, I'm really right now we're just focusing on our business expo. So if you want to register, contact the office. We'll send you an application. You can register there. You can register online. But mostly, if you're part of the community and you don't have a business, come out and support the local businesses. We really want, for this first one, we want, well, any of them, we want a lot of support for our local businesses. And so if you are, just come out, walk around, you never know, you might win a prize from one of these businesses. So just spread the word, spread the love, and come out and
Free
join us.
samples, whatever
Free
else.
samples, absolutely.
That's right.
Well, you're going to find out that there's some things here in town that you thought you might have to go to Fort Worth for, and now you can stay in town.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I really like about Burleson now is I don't have to go to Fort Worth for things I don't,
No.
It used to be, and you remember, being an old timer, if you wanted to go to some place to sit down to eat other than stand at the counter and order it, you had to go into Fort Worth, right? And now we got all these places and whatnot. And we had
no chains here back in the day. There was Bendy's Place used to be a steakhouse back in the day. You remember that? And then we had Los Charros down there, which goes way back. But
way back.
and not any real chain.
You know. We had Jose's that then became the China King, I believe it was.
That's right. Yep.
The one Chinese joint I really liked was China Doll. Do you remember that one over by the old Walmart?
Yes.
Yes, I liked it, even though it was a bit.
So it was next to Hobby Lobby.
Right.
So my son and his grandparents, they would take him there, and he loved it. And
Oh,
it was
great.
great food, small little place, unassuming, but it was fantastic.
Hey, we probably like the sugar biscuits, right?
Oh man, love them.
Yeah. But it was and it was kind of, well, let's just say, very hometown feeling.
Yes.
If you don't mind if you cutting the corners on the hill code, you're good
That's
to
right.
go.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Food was good.
Food's good. It's kind of like the old Golden Corral that then became the mattress place. Now it's that HTO place. But
That's
that
right.
Golden Corral is like, make sure you have your shots first. But the food was good, so it's all right.
I never got sick. I'm good.
No, I never did either. But it's like there was because strong constitution. But it was hometown.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I tell you, when I see Ronnie next week, I'm still going to bust him up for not having Dairy Twin. I mean,
Man. I mean, that was so.
Yeah.
My boss came here. This has been about 10 years ago, and so we were doing something here in town, and he said, "Take me to a place to eat." Where do you go? Dairy Twin.
Of course.
He said, "I can't believe you brought me here." When you first walked in, then we walked out. He said, "Man, I'm glad you took me here."
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Their food was on point.
So I'm glad to talk to old timers. I'm become one. I found out. It occurred to me that
Is that what just happened right here? Did I become an old timer?
You're an old
right
timer.
now?
You're an
Is
old
that-
timer.
Oh man,
I've lived here
Jeez.
longer than anywhere else, and I wasn't born and raised here. And when I came here to work, I thought, well, I'll be here 2-3 years. I'll move on. I'm stuck here. Yeah, or they're stuck with me. One of the two.
Doesn't matter how you got here, Brad. It's
Yeah,
what you
as
got
long as you got
That's
here.
right.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow I talked to the mayor, and so if you have questions, just text me, email me, message me, put them on the screen. On Thursday, we have Next Step Women's Center with Megan and Summer. That was last week's show, got iced out, so we're going to do it again. And I got a full week next week, too. I'll have Shandy on for Monday, talk about school board race. I'll have Ronnie on next Tuesday, and then have BSD. So we're going to be in the studio for a couple of weeks. And I appreciate y'all coming. It was a great show, as always. Thank you, Gabrina.
Thank you.
bet.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks,
All right.
Jeremy.
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Brad. You bet.
Bye-bye.